There's a highly dangerous situation ongoing at Indonesia's Ruang volcano, which only 12 days ago produced a destructive explosive eruption about 1/3 the size of the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. As, once again, a major Plinian eruption is currently ongoing there, which has sent a sustained eruption column up to a height of 25 kilometers or 82,000 feet. This Plinian eruption is seemingly more energetic than what occurred on April 17th, with multiple pyroclastic flows not only sweeping over Ruang Island at the same time, but also near simultaneously entering the ocean. The associated eruption column has already expanded outward like the top of a mushroom to more than 100 miles diameter and is actively raining down large amounts of ash and lapilli. As a result, Ruang's alert level was increased from 3 to 4 and its exclusion zone was increased from 4 to 7 kilometers in all directions. I urge everyone to not only get beyond this radius away from Ruang's summit, but also to immediately flee to higher ground, preferably at least 100 meters above sea level. The center of Tagulandang Island won't be completely safe during the current crisis, but it does mark the safest spot in the context of the overall island. Please wear a helmet or other protective equipment, possibly even put a pan over your head to protect yourself from falling very hot rocks which on the 17th had sufficient velocity and energy to punch large holes through metal roofs. Due to Ruang's April 17th Plinian eruption, its summit crater was not only deepened and widened due to the powerful explosion which occurred, but also its summit crater became breached to the northeast. This means that the ongoing powerful eruption is most likely to send its longest-reaching pyroclastic flows in that direction. Since there is a major settlement with only a 1,050-meter gap between the two islands, a pyroclastic flow could easily flow across the water and reach a section of Tagulandang Island. Since pyroclastic flows contain large amounts of superheated debris, if they enter water they will displace it and this could generate a tsunami, hence my opinion that people should immediately flee to higher ground. Once again, please do not film the eruption near the shoreline like I have seen some people do on Facebook and other platforms, as you are placing yourself at risk. Get out of there! So, why did Ruang seemingly escalate from 0 to 100 once again, just like it did on April 16th and 17th? Simply put, having been largely quiet since April 20th, a major change occurred during the night of April 28th. Beginning at around 10 PM local time, this marked when Ruang's quickly growing lava dome reached a sufficient thickness to build an effective plug which caused gases and pressure to build up underneath it. Over the following 22 hours, this pressure continued to build underneath Ruang at a low rate until, at 8 PM on the 29th, the volcanic tremor and rate of volcano-tectonic earthquakes rapidly escalated. More than 500 earthquakes occurred one after the other in rapid succession due to magma movement, with the rate of volcanic tremor surpassing what was measured before Ruang's April 17th eruption. This pressure at first was released via sustained eruption column at 1:15 AM on April 30th, and then a more than 1,000 meter high lava fountain was generated, but even this was insufficient to relieve its pressure faster than it was building at. As a result, a powerful explosion occurred that destroyed this lava dome and began a Plinian eruption at 2:57 AM local time. Please stay safe, everyone.
This is Dabu 7. We have had an X-flare lift off from the sun. This is an Earth-directed X-flare. X 1.1, I do believe this came in at. And the southern tip of this plasma field is going to strike Earth here in the next 48 hours. We also have incoming CMEs right now that have created beautiful auroras all around the planet. Some of those associated with northern lights. And in one of these events, many people have witnessed this mystery object that you can see here in this shot, reflecting in the water and everything, in the sky as they were witnessing these auroras. Many different people in different areas witnessing this. Here's a video clip of that object in the sky as well. And many people just not knowing what to make of that object.
I want to take you guys now to the skies of the United Kingdom. Here we go, another jet flying a highly unusual pattern, almost as if it's looking for something. This is over in the United Kingdom, near London, north and east of London. This video was shared by Miss Levy. It's also over on FlightRadar24.com. I've found multiple planes here recently that are flying these unusual patterns at around the same time. You don't see this very often over here, but for some reason here recently, planes in both the Western Hemisphere and in the Eastern Hemisphere are flying these unusual patterns almost as if they're looking for something. This is a NASA airplane from just a couple of days ago out here in the desert Southwest, flying a very bizarre pattern, primarily over Arizona and Southern California. This is a flight pattern from about 48 hours ago, and also on this day, it flew this pattern along the west coast of California. Looks almost identical to the flight pattern near London in the United Kingdom. The very next day, doing the same thing, but slightly farther to the west. Check it out. This is day one. You can see the flight pattern is more in the central part of California. The next day, more towards the coastal areas, from San Jose down to the Santa Barbara area, as if they are looking for something now down to the Houston, Texas area. This video footage you're about to see, the photos and video, were sent in by Storm Chaser Shanice, who's from the North Houston metro area. They were without power this morning due to the strong storms you just saw there on radar. Some areas received, let me pause this real quick, between 4 and 7 inches of rainfall, and they were anticipating another 1 to 2 inches on top of the 4 to 7 that had already fallen. This is in the North Houston area. The streets turned into rivers. Photos sent in by Storm Chaser Shanice from today. Check it out. You can't even see the streets. They're so overwhelmed with water from the intense rainfall. This area probably saw 4 to 7 inches of rain. Here's a truck that looks like it might be stalled in the middle of the road. And coming up, we have video footage from Storm Chaser Shanice, who was out in the middle of the very heavy rainfall, and the road that she was traveling on, trying to get back home, was flooded. They experienced flash flooding, high winds, power outages, the whole 9 yards. You're going to see more photos of damage from the high winds. Check out the fencing that was blown over by high winds. Here's some more fence damage. Again, this is in the North Houston area. Blew over the barbecue grill. You're going to see a tree broken off right there. Winds snapped that tree in half. Once again, from very strong storms. This is probably residue from last night's strong activity in the east central Texas area. We saw strong storms in the Texas Panhandle and tornadic activity up in Oklahoma and Kansas, where there was 4 and 4.5 inch hail reported in some locations, along with multiple tornado reports.